Hello, this is Holly Chantal, the president of the Land of Brand, and you have reached the LOBoratory, which is the Land of Brand laboratory. And if you've never joined us before, we meet every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and this is a completely free training where we share with you different experiments for your brand, because I believe that the only way to grow your coaching business is to experiment, reflect, and adjust in order to move forward and try new things, because I serve trailblazers, and trailblazers are always pushing the edge. They're not doing the bandwagon marketing that everyone is doing. We're always trying new things and figuring out what works. So these webinars are sharing things that you can try in your business, things that I've tried with my clients, things that I've done myself, and sharing with you what works and what doesn't work. So that way you can also grow your trailblazing coaching business. So today we're going to be talking about how waffles are sabotaging your brand authority and how adding syrup is really not going to help the situation. You see, waffles are delicious. They are crunchy, they're chewy. Well, I guess they're crunchy and chewy. You can add mix-ins, you can add all kinds of toppings to make them your own. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with waffles. They're a favorite breakfast food, right? Unless those waffles are also in your marketing, because waffles do not belong in marketing. If you would use all of these, they could be this or that, or this and that, or changing your toppings based on who you're talking to, then you're bringing waffles into your coaching business, and they just don't belong there. They belong on the breakfast table, right? So not literally waffles, but when you're using this or that and a little of both in when you're talking about what you do, in your blog posts and articles, in your services, when you're describing your target audience, if you're adapting your messaging so frequently that people aren't really quite sure definitively what it is you do or what it is you're offering, and you're causing confusion because you're diluting your message with all of these quote unquote mix-ins and toppings. So if you're customizing your business and your brand for every single person you're talking to, or to try to cast a wider net, but not being specific enough that people knew who it is you serve and what it is you do for them, you're causing confusion. And this literally kills your authority. And as a coach, you are stepping out as the expert in your industry, and your brand must build authority if you want to stand out as the go-to person for your target audience. So authorities are highly specialized in who they work with. They have a very defined expertise in solving a particular problem. They relate very well to their target audiences, either because they've been working with them for so long or because they've had similar experiences in the past and have overcome them. That makes them an authority. They're crystal clear on what it is that they're offering and are able to describe it very succinctly so that people get it right away. And because of all of their experience, whether that be vicariously through their clients or through their own experience, they have a very strong point of view. They're opinionated. They're not trying to please everyone. They're trying to convey what makes them so passionate about what they do and what's so important to them. And part of that is expressing an opinion, and sometimes it's not going to be the popular opinion, and that's okay. In fact, the more polarizing you are sometimes, and that means, turning people off because your opinion is so strong, the more polarizing you are, sometimes the more of an authority you come across as. And you're going to attract the people that resonate with your point of view. So in short, authorities don't waffle. They don't add this or that. They don't change their point of view. They're not waffling. So what does waffling look like? Like, how do you know if you're doing this? So I work with coaches and entrepreneurs and small business owners. That's 3 very different target audiences, and there are probably many subsets within those 3 target audiences. So if when you're describing what you do, you're saying, I work with these people and these people and these people and these people. You're waffling. I will help you get more clients and you'll do it faster and with less stress. Those are 3 different promises. Every time you add what you're probably considering a benefit, you're adding a layer of confusion and waffle. You want to get that down to a very defined, this is what I help you with. And if you're feeling burned out, or if you're not getting enough clients, or if there just isn't enough time in the day, those are 3 different problems. Again, you want to hone in that message to what problem do you want to attract right now, or what problem do you want to solve right now, so that you will attract the people in your audience that need that problem solved and now see you as an authority. But again, every time you dilute that message, you're creating more confusion about what you do. You're becoming more generic. So what does authority look like on the other hand? So if we were to take these statements and turn them into something that's more defined and builds authority, so you see this person as an expert, let's play. So I've branded nearly 200 coaches, so I have a deep understanding of this industry. Would you trust me if I told you that? Yes, probably much more so than I work with coaches and these people and these people and these people. The fact that I've worked with nearly 200 coaches, and this is a true fact, shows that I have a lot of experience in this industry and I understand that target audience. It builds authority. I help you stand out from your competition, even if there are thousands offering the same thing you are. So not only did I say I will help you stand out from your competition, that is one promise, I've also added a layer of specificity, not a layer of confusion. So even if there are thousands offering the same thing you are. So this means I am working in very competitive markets. I understand that the coaching industry have coaches that are certified in the same systems as you, offering the same products and programs as you are, working with the same target audiences that you are. So I help you stand out from all of those people with your brand. The third one, if you were tired of feeling like a kindergartner in a room of PhDs when you look at your competition, then you need to work with me. So that is a very specific problem. If you're looking out in your industry and you are feeling like everyone else knows more than you, then chances are we need to work together. That not only is a specific problem, but you see again, the layer of specificity there that, I'm not just talking about, if you feel like you have a lot of competition or if you feel like you're invisible. That's messaging that you've probably heard before. And again, it's casting a wide net. It's very general. But the people that resonate with this particular statement, which actually came from a client of mine, hint, that's a great way to get down into really specific language, is to listen to your clients and use that language to attract more clients like them. If you're tired of feeling like a kindergartner in a room of PhDs, that's a very specific sentiment. It evokes a feeling, it evokes a imagery without causing any waffles. So what are the differences here? So the real differences are that you don't see any connectors. You don't see any ands, you don't see any ors, you don't have a lot of commas. Every time you're adding an and, an or a comma, you're adding one layer of confusion. Each statement is one thought. So I'm getting one point across in each of those statements. And you'll notice that specificity adds to your authority. So instead of adding the ands and the ors to expand our message, instead we're getting more and more specific. That actually adds more authority. The clearer your message, the more of an expert you're going to look like. I don't know who the quote is from. It's a famous quote, and you may have heard of it, that those that have the most expertise can explain a concept the most simply. Something like that. So red flags to look out for. So if let's say you're auditing your website or you're looking at your content, you're checking for waffles. We're looking under the mattress, we're looking in the couch, looking for waffles. So if you're using multiple questions or statements at the top of your sales page, I see this a lot. So it's, are you experiencing, and then you have like the list and you're waiting, you want them to say yes to at least one of them. That's usually casting too wide of a net. Unless each of those statements is describing the same ideal client. I will say that 80 to 90% of the ones I see are not. So I won't say that I've never used statements or questions at the top of a sales page when I'm working with my clients. Typically I don't, because I feel like that, to me, it screams like amateur copy, because there's just it's casting such a wide net. There's no authority there. We're not talking to a specific audience that we're trying to attract. It's just too broad. And so if I do use this method, it's always describing the same audience. Instead of casting a wider net, each statement is adding a layer of specificity for that person. Anytime you feel like you're limiting yourself with a particular marketing message. So if you are writing a webinar title, or if you are writing an email that you want people to click on, and you're like, I'm not sure that, these people are going to think I'm talking to them, but these people will. So there's like the people you're trying to attract, and then there's everyone else. And oftentimes the everyone else is what gets you hung up, and that's where you add more waffle into your messaging. So ask yourself, who do you want to attract? So when that feeling of limitation comes up, where you're thinking, I'm not sure that this is going to attract, or this is going to appeal to these particular people, ask yourself, for this offer or this particular call to action, is that who you want to attract? Because most of the time when I'm working through clients with this and we are creating their messaging, whether that be their brand, whether that be their elevator pitch, whether that be a sales page, and this question comes up and I ask them, is that who you want to attract? The answer is usually, well, no, not really, you're right. So all of the language that you're using, you need to know who it is you want to attract, what is the problem they're having, and then focus your entire message around that. That is how you build brand authority. So just to recap, waffles are delicious for breakfast, but they don't belong in your brand. Authority comes from specificity. The more specific you are, the more you're going to be seen as an authority. When you feel like you're limiting yourself, usually a good thing. And last but not least, you must be clear on what your brand is if you want to be seen as an authority. So getting crystal clear on your brand will make all of this so much easier. And it's really necessary to building your brand authority. You really can't if you're still waffling on what your brand is. So what's happening in the land of brands? So we just launched our new website. Yay us. Labor of love. Actually did not take that long. It was more of a waiting game, just kind of, getting all the pieces together. But really, we got a lot of it pretty quickly, and that comes from being just very clear on who we want to serve, who we want to attract, and what it is we're offering. So that would be expected, right? Being that we are the land of brand, you would think I'd be pretty crystal clear on what my brand is and what I'm trying to get across. I hope you'll check it out. It's thelandofbrand.com. And I've hidden a couple of Easter eggs in the website itself. So an Easter egg is something that is not everyone's going to find. It's like a something special that not everyone's going to notice. It's kind of like when you're watching a Disney movie and then there's a character from another Disney movie that's like a stuffed animal or something. That's an Easter egg. Not everyone will notice it, but when you do, it's like, ha, I saw it. So there's some Easter eggs on the Land of Brand that actually, if you click on them, they will go to hidden pages where you can get really cool prizes. So it's just something fun to do while you're on the website reading the copy. See if you can find those Easter eggs and get really sweet prizes worth around $700. So they're not cheap, because I know there's not a lot of people that are going to find them. They're pretty well hidden. And then the other thing is that the Done For You giveaway which is one of my favorite events of the year. When I first started my business, I remember watching avidly for the Done For You giveaway, because literally like the top people in the industry are giving away amazing prizes, like Done For You services. And I started participating as a giver awayer about 5 years ago. So this is my fifth year participating, and I'm giving away a free Brand Your Awesome coaching package, and that's going to be starting soon. So keep an eye on your email, because I'll be sending out a announcement for that. And last but not least, I will see you again in a couple of weeks on May 10th. We're going to be talking about the 2 best credit cards to use in your business. So this is personal experience. It's not something that you usually think about, like what credit card you should be using, but it's an opportunity that a lot of people are missing to actually be making more money in your business, is what credit card you're using. Sounds kind of weird, right? So we're going to talk about the 2 best credit cards to be using in your business. And if you want to learn more about how I can help you build your brand, then you can email holly@thelandofbrand.com, and we can get the ball rolling and see if we'd be a good fit to work together. So I will see you on May 10th at noon. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you later. Bye.